Hi everyone, this week I'll learn to grow my social media accounts.
7 days challenge.
So yeah, this is a rough plan that I came up with. It means nothing, but for in terms of how to create content, I have some ideas that I wanted to try out different techniques to craft out different kind of concepts to see if I could kind of diversify the skill set and expression of contents every day. So that's just pretty much the concept. Let's see how it goes. It could be very tough and tiring, provided I don't have enough time to really dedicate all the time that I have in my life right now. So I saw this honey-made typography somewhere online, and I wanted to recreate it for a reel.
Does it count as A? I don't think so.
I usually pair with this massive diffuser. Yeah, something like this. But I wanted to have very harsh light this time, so I'm using without it as an intentional artistic choice. Right, I'm just done with my full-time job today. I'm a bit tired, to be honest, but I'm gonna move on to editing this footage that I took this morning. And I think sound effect is important. So maybe look for honey. So the initial plan was actually find music first and go on to the editing. It turns out it's very hard to find the kind of sound. I mean, it's just day one, and I'm already compromising.
A few moments later.
Alright, I just had dinner, and I rested quite a bit, and I downloaded this song. It matches perfectly. In a way, it's when I edit things, put a cut in between the bass lines. When there's a drum or bass line, I try to cut off this footage and move on to the next footage. I didn't plan for it, but it just matches perfectly. And I was like, oh my, wow. Right, so this is day 2. Yesterday I did a reel that was kind of painstaking. I took quite a bit of time doing that. So to be honest, I want to go kind of easier today.
Tomorrow.
All right. Good morning. Yesterday I ended up not doing much work. I did some composition works yesterday, but it didn't look complete, so I ended up just posting images that I had. But at the same time, I want to explore things that's AI and all these generative images and stuff like that. So basically I saw this video that was apparently made by Generative AI. This is done by someone that I found on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description. So first thing I did is using a Photoshop to create a flag using Generative AI feature. So the video that I referred to uses Generative AI to enhance this image, but in my case it didn't work well because of the text. So I decided not to use this AI at all. Here I'm switching to different images, I don't know why, but I was inspired to use Tokyo Tower as a symbol. After a few trials and errors, I managed to fill in this my Gira Gira logo onto the flag. So this is how the first one turns out, and it's far from brilliant. And I've tried a few times afterwards, but nothing worked out. And I went back to see the original video that was posted. First of all, when you look at the images, or the video itself actually, they don't look exactly like AI gen. It doesn't look corrupted, a kind of mod or kind of blurred kind of look that AI gen images tend to have. Maybe this is actually the image itself rather than untouched. And second thing is, if you see this kind of pixel around it, maybe I could animate it. There are certain imperfections, like I don't know if you could see in this resolution, but there are some boundaries around it. Maybe this is like added on as a video on top of an image. So maybe there is a mask on it. So I wanted to try this out, where maybe I would just export this as part of this the whole image, and just superimpose this video on top of the image. Hey, I'm mostly done with all this editing and stuff like that. It's like AI software. I actually never used it. It was literally the first time I've done it. Actually, the learning curve is, of course, is much easier than all these traditional movie making skills. But in order to make it look realistic and good in general, I think you need to have a fundamental understanding of movie making or Photoshop and all these things, because out of the box, if you input all these images, it's actually very, very fake. It looks very, very AI-ish, because it's not to the level that you can, that they can deceive our eyes yet. Right, it's Friday today. You know what time it is? Unboxing. Doo-doo. I got this new MacBook Air. It's been about 4 or 5 years since I got a new machine, so I'm very excited for this. And it just opens up like this. Right. So, now it's about maybe like 1. Now it's about 1 a.m. Basically, like after my full-time job, I went to get my new MacBook. I came back, I set it up. After that, I had dinner and I started to take a picture, which eventually took probably around 4 hours. Honestly, it took me quite a bit of time because I'm not professional. I'm not very used to it, to be honest. Starting to learn, posting every day, of course, is difficult, but there must be a better way to do this rather than creating every single day and posting on the day.
Tomorrow.
So I want to use these images to create a bit more festive things. So what I'm going to do is festive poster. Those are found. I use Unsplash to find free images that I could use for texture. I find this to be quite nice. It's kind of texture is kind of dense enough so that maybe I could use here and there.
A few moments later.
Right, the Photoshop's been keep crashing on me, so I had to turn it off for a second. Basically, what I did is replacing images with the background image in a way. What I show you what I did to I'm learning by doing it. So basically, I added this kind of image as background, and in order to make it look a bit more realistic, so this is a solid color here, and since there is very strong strobe on top of it, I wanted to replicate that kind of effect. So I added this kind of gradient layer on it, so it looks a bit more natural in a way. Using the same image, but I kind of rotate and move around to have not the same texture all around. But now that I was thinking, I saw this image, and I started to think what if I have a kind of phone mockup, and inside it, basically with a hand in the phone on top of it, and I just render in the whole thing. Again, the compromise. The way I wanted to compromise this time is to I couldn't find any mockup that's pretty good, and so what I decided is to recreate all the existing UI of Photos app of iOS latest at this point, which I find hideous to say the least. It's horrible UI, freaking hard to use. So I wanted to recreate this on Figma. I mean, obviously Figma is a software, free software that you can download for free. You could, it's best suited for all this like digital product design, like this. So next thing I'm gonna do is just to replicate this slide shadow and buttons and the rest of it.
Too many pillows, I think.
Right, so yeah, the results are in. I'm done 7 days straight. It was daunting, it was tiring, but it was very much fun. In short, I didn't gain any followers on the Instagram, strictly speaking. So that's a bit unfortunate. One learning is, of course, it's pretty much impossible to create contents every day. As a matter of fact, I'm talking to you 2 days after I finished this 7 days exercise. I had a lot of things to do with, in my full-time job, so I had to take care of that first. Not being able to dedicate my whole time on this gira is kind of limiting, but it's the reality of it. I gotta live within this reality of it for now. For that regard, creating contents every day, making contents every day, posting it every day, it's not realistic at all. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure how to grow strategically in terms of social media. Of course, my objective is to be able to be successful in creating all these garments and clothing that I have in my mind, and then just contextualize it and be able for people to enjoy it. If I don't sell a lot, I can't make a lot. And the reality of it is I'm not selling enough to make a lot of kind of things. So that's kind of the reality of trade-off. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk negatively about it. I had very much I had a very, very good time. It's just starting off. I have, quite a small number of followers and viewership, but, when people are liking my video, it's very encouraging, and that kind of fuels me to propel myself further. So thanks for that, and I see you in the next episode. Cheers.